really feeling like you're in a rut? You're stuck, you're not feeling excited about the work that you're doing anymore. Especially if you're a Gen X 50 pluser, you are going to want to stick around for today's video. Hi, I'm Jeanette, the North Dawn Coach, and I am so glad that you have joined me here today. Now, I have been talking in previous videos, particularly as we have been leading into the start of the new year, around preparing for a career change or a transition. But what if you don't want to make a change? What if you want to stay in your particular position, but just in a better position in the sense of how you feel about the role? Well, that's what I want to address in the start of this 5-part series. So today we're going to talk about the topic in general, and then I am going to come back over the course of the next 5 videos to bring you deep dives in each of the concepts. So what are we talking about? We are talking about some hacks that you can utilize to make your job better. A fancy word to describe the whole process is this word called job enrichment. And I say fancy just because, well, what does that mean? We've talked about enriched bread. Enrichment feels like, well, what does that have to do with not being stuck in my job? Well, enrichment is simply this, there are aspects that you can modify to make it a more engaging, a better fit for yourself. Now, traditionally, job enrichment has been something that's been considered from the perspective of a manager or a leader of a role, and it's something that the manager has really done to make adjustments to kind of the design of the position. However, we can actually turn that upside down and look at it from the perspective of what we can do individually in the role to modify it. Now, are all things possible? No, of course not. It is not possible to make all of the kinds of changes that you might possibly want to make. However, there's a lot of different things that can be done in these different categories to make adjustments. So today what I want to do is just give you an overview of what we have in terms of these hackable areas that we can make changes to. And then, as I said, I'll be coming back with deeper dives on specific hacks that you can apply in each of these situations to, again, make your job better for yourself without having to consider a full career transition to, actually move into something entirely different. Now, of course, if that's something that you want to do, I have lots of resources on that, but I want to give some time and space to the concept of, yes, something has to change, but I don't want to make a big change. So that's what this whole series is about. So what are these 5 different hack categories that we can make? Well, the first one is in the category of skill variety. Now, again, these titles are, maybe a little bit hard to read. Like, what does skill variety mean? Well, skill variety really boils down to this concept of, can you mix it up? So instead of using one skill set over and over and over again, can you have a variety? So the concept of novelty, using a variety of skills. People who have that variety going on feel better about the job design. So what we're looking for is this concept of how can we really mix that up? An example for me of this category would be, although I love the skill set of the core of my business, which is coaching, so I'm specifically coaching around career topics for people who are, kind of Gen Xers feeling stuck in their roles. I love that. That's really, core to where I feel I bring value. I also have novelty and skill variety in the kinds of things that I can do. Things like I'm doing right now in filming this video, things that I'm doing to actually build and market, the administrative details of running my business, etc. They all add up to a variety of skills. Now, the second category we have is task identity. And again, fancy title, but what it really means is people who have their role responsibilities actually get to look at more of a process end to end. So have more control, more input into the entire sequence of a task, are more happy in their roles. So that means, I kind of think of it like a, like in the old days of maybe like an auto assembly plant. People who had the ability to see process end to end in the creation of the car are more happy than if you're just working on one aspect of it, if that makes sense. So these kind of places, in terms of making changes, are the kinds of things that you can do to get, more view into a full process than just one aspect of it. The third category is task significance, and that's really how the importance that you place on the work that you're doing. And it's not necessarily how the external world views it, but it's really more about your perceptions of the importance, the connection to your values and so forth. And so things that we can do in this category to boost that are going to make you feel happier in the role. The fourth category is called autonomy, and I like to call this the micromanaging category. So the more control that we can get over our circumstances in our work environment, the better, the more engaged we feel. If we feel like we are being micromanaged, that we don't have any really input into even the finest details about the work that we're doing, we're going to feel less engaged in that work. And so things that we can do to impact this area and get more control, less micromanaging, are going to make us feel better about our roles. And then the fifth and final category is that of feedback. And so that's knowing, like getting information about how the work that you're doing is landing. So, getting both positive feedback, like, yes, great job, really like what you're doing there, do more of it, but also developmental feedback. So feedback about like, well, actually, this went really well, but if you could tweak this over here to make it better, the kind of feedback that we don't necessarily think, oh, we want more developmental feedback, but actually it's the whole spectrum of feedback that makes us feel better and more enriched and happier in the jobs. So those are the broad categories, so to speak, of the things that can make us feel better about the work that we're doing, and, by extension, can make us, with tinkering, with hacking some of these different areas, it can make all the difference between like, this is not good, I am not feeling great about this work, to, oh, actually, it took, 1, 2, 3 different, even minor changes, and it's made a world of difference. So as I said, I am going to be coming back. I release 2 videos per week, one on Wednesdays and one on Sundays. And so the next series of Wednesday videos, I will be deep diving into, applicable, action-packed hacks that you can make in each of these areas. So if that's you and you really are thinking about, I don't want a big change, I want to try to see what I can do about my role, go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss the notifications around, hey, another video has come out. The other thing I want to offer you is in the description box, I will put a link to a workbook on these 5 topics. So you can really work on applying what I'm going over in these videos to your particular situation. And in that workbook, I also give you a link to a free session where we can strategize together around, your particular situation, if that's of interest to you. So hopefully this was helpful as an intro to where we're going. And then I will be back in a couple days with another video, so the Sunday video, and then look for the next in the series of these videos a week from today. All right, thanks for watching, and we'll talk again soon. Take care.